What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 12, episode 16. So, we start this episode off. It's Eva's baby shower. It was cool. It was great. All the ladies were there. They were getting along. La 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 la. It was sunflowers and love and light. All right, cool. The significant thing that went down at this was that Kandi pulled Tanya and Kenya aside and said, look, for the sake of Mark's charity event, can we work this whole thing out? Can we work this whole situation out? Because we want, everybody to be able to come. There seemed to have been some misunderstanding about the invitation, who was invited and who wasn't, but Mark wants everybody to come. And Tanya was like, well, I'll ask Paul. But to be honest with you, it's probably going to be no dog. And so then, of course, Kenya got real snippy about it or whatever. Here's the thing. I understand where Tanya is coming from. Tanya is like, you brought a whole woman to confront me about my man. And according to my man, it ain't go down like that. And I'm going to believe him. So why would he put himself in a situation to be around you? And I'm going to support whatever he does. See, here's the thing. Whether you think the cookie lady is telling the truth or not, because let me be clear about that whole cookie lady situation. Even if it went down the exact same way that the cookie lady said it went down, it really won't nothing there. So maybe he flirted with you a little bit, but he never gave you his phone number. He never got your phone number. Y'all never talked to each other again. You said he didn't say anything appropriate other than the fact that he said that he was single. But I mean, did he rub on your booty? Did he say, yo, can we get a hotel room? Like, you said you went to the bathroom, came back, and y'all ain't really had no more conversation. So I'm with Tanya on that one. Like, you want to come with something better if you want me to come after my man about something. Like, we've been together for damn 10 years. You got to come with something better. Anyway. So, of course, now Kenya getting snippy and acting like it's not a big deal or whatever. And again, y'all, I have such an issue when people do that. You don't get to come for me and then I'm not supposed to have an attitude about it or I'm not supposed to feel no kind of way about it. Whatever. Kenya, anyway. So that's what that was. Okay, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to fast forward through some of this stuff so we can get to this damn charity event, okay? We see Kandi auditioning for her part on The Chi, and I'm sure that the only reason why they probably showed us that is because she did actually get the part on The Chi. Because remember, a couple of weeks ago, she didn't really want to speak on it until she knew something, but we know she got the part. So good for you, Kandi. Looking for, I don't even have Showtime, but I think I'm gonna get it for this season because I do want to see The Chi. I heard it's a great show. Then we see her talking to Carmen, her friend Carmen, and she was just basically saying how her and Todd have kind of been going through some things that, they've been kind of bumping heads on the business side of stuff. They've been sort of bumping heads or whatever. But and her getting ready for the baby and all of that. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think the situation with Todd and the businesses, I think that's driven from the point of view of people looking at him like he's a bum. People like her mama and other people who wanted to question whether Kandi was taking care of him. What was he bringing to the table? Was he using Kandi? And I really think that's what that was, honestly. I think Todd's hustle, not saying he's not self-motivated, but I just think that part of that whole hustle, opening up this business, open up that business, opening up this business, opening up this, I really think that a lot of that is pushed by his need to prove people wrong. And Kandi's thing was, at the end of the day, I want to be supportive of him because he has been more than supportive of me in my endeavor. So even though I get frustrated by it, I try to step back and I try not to be, overbearing on the situation. And I can respect that. I can respect that. But I really think that's where that comes from with Todd. We see Nene getting ready. They're packing for Greece because they're going to Greece. Like, as soon as this charity event is over, honey, they're going to Greece. So Nene has to go to New York first, then she has to come back down to Atlanta for the charity event, and then she's going to Greece. So she's trying to get all this packing done. And she's like, I'm just not feeling it. She was like, I just don't know if I really want to be in an environment around these women. I'm really trying to do better. I'm really trying to make better, make better decisions. But at the end of the day, I just don't know if I want to be bothered with these women or not. I just don't know if I do. And so we see her get on the phone with Wendy Williams. And I don't know if this is the conversation. Like, I don't know if they put this piece in there because of the whole thing that went down with Nene and Wendy Williams a couple of weeks ago, with Wendy talking about, Nene confiding some things in her or whatever. Because I really feel like that was a wasted moment. Because, I don't care about her and Wendy Williams being friends, and about her talking to Wendy Williams about her anxiety about going on this trip and not sure she want to be around these women and how she's trying to be a better person. I don't really care. But I really feel like that's the only reason why they put that in there. Because I really feel like that was a scene that ended up on the cutting room floor. Because it should have. Real quick, back to Candy. The part that she's playing on the shot is that she is playing a lesbian. And she does have a sex scene. So, of course, that's going to be real salacious. Okay, I had to throw that in there. All right. I think I got all the preliminaries out the way. So let's talk about Kenya, her husband, this charity event, and all the hoo rah rah ha 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 hoo hoo hoo. So we see Kenya basically planning the whole damn event. She meeting with the people. She done got the caterer. She done got security. She done got we know she helped with the venue, like everything. She's doing everything, and she's just saying how, she's really, she doesn't mind helping because she is his wife. She just wants to feel appreciated. She wants to feel respected. She was saying how, anyway, she's just looking forward to the charity event because it's really sort of introducing Mark to Atlanta society and that kind of thing. Because, of course, she feels like this is a step in the direction of him permanently staying in Atlanta, or at least staying in Atlanta longer. So then we see her and Cynthia meet up for, some wine and that kind of thing. And Cynthia's telling her about the fight that her and Mike had, but, we saw on last episode or whatever, or was it, anyway, last week or the week before. And Kenya starts really harping on the infidelity piece. And then she did say, well, let's take Mike off the table because I don't want you to feel like I'm just coming for Mike. But, when you're a cheater, then you're a liar. And when you're a liar, you're hurting people and you're hurting me. And she went on this whole tangent about Mike. Let me say this. Legitimately, as a friend, I'm not saying I wouldn't have that same conversation. Okay? Let me be very, very frank. I am not going to sit here and say that I would not have that same conversation with my friend. Because I would. Okay? But I wouldn't harp on it. Because at the end of the day, her decision to make. And I feel like she was harping on the infidelity. And then Cynthia said, well, I know that Mike's a good man. Well, what do you mean by a good man? And that's what she was talking about. Would a good man hurt you? And that's what you do when you're cheating. Would a good man lie to you? Would a good man? And I was just like, well, what about your man? And so Cynthia did try to bring up Mark. And she talked a little bit about Mark. And of course the same old about feeling respected and feeling loved and how they're just not in sync and they're just not on the same page. And Cynthia said, well, have y'all thought about going to counseling? Well, no, we haven't been to counseling, and I don't know if that's something he blah, 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 blah. But let's talk about Mike and how Mike is just probably not a good man. You know what I mean? Like, she was deflecting and throwing it back at Cynthia. But Cynthia said something about not wanting to make him mad and like walking around on eggshells or whatever because she just doesn't want to make him mad. So then she asked about, well, what are his triggers? Well, if I were to tell you that, you would probably look at me like I'm crazy. So let me say this. You don't know his triggers because y'all only knew each other like 4 months before y'all got married. You didn't know this side of him because you didn't let the honeymoon phase subside. I always said I would never marry somebody that I had never been in an argument with, because you don't know how people respond in that environment. And that'll be the same person that when they get mad, then they want to slap somebody, and you be like, I never saw that side of him, because y'all ain't never have an argument. You were in the honeymoon phase. Everybody knows that at the beginning of a relationship, everything is I love you too. Oh, that's so cute when you do that. Oh, that's so cute when you say that. Oh, it's so cute when you want something different than what I cook for dinner. Oh, we were just Postmates and we'll Netflix and chill. But it's not so cute a year later when you sitting there like, why you always got a problem with what I cook for dinner? Or why you walk like that? Oh, but it was cute that I walked like that when we was dating for 3 months. You see what I'm saying? You didn't let yourself get to that phase. So now that y'all passed out of the honeymoon phase and the euphoria has worn off, you seeing this dude for who he really is, and he's seeing you for who you really are. And at the end of the day, y'all don't like each other that much. That's really what it boils down to. Y'all don't like each other that much. Y'all might love each other, but you don't like each other that much. And I don't even know about the love part, if you want to know the truth of the matter, but far be it from me to make that decision or assumption. So, we get down to, let me see, hold on. Are we already at the charity event, child? Because again, like I said, we was going to get through all these preliminaries. We're going to get, okay, yeah. So, we're getting ready to get down to the charity event. So, Kenya comes home with all these clothes or whatever because Mark told her at the last minute that he didn't have a suit to wear, and basically it was her job to go get him a suit to wear. Now, he said he told her 3 days before. She said, you didn't tell me till this morning. I still say that's bullshit. You knew you've been planning this event for months. So why all of a sudden now are we just talking about what you're going to wear and what we're going to wear and what I'm going to wear? Like, that's something that y'all should have already had taken care of. So, no, Kenya should not have been running out to the mall first thing in the morning to go find you a suit and tie to wear to the charity event, unless something, unless the cleaner screwed his suit up, or the baby spilled some grape juice on it at the last minute. Like, that's the only way that she should have been out here scrambling. And then he gonna act like he don't like none of what she picked up. Then how about you should have took your ass to the mall and went and got it? How about that? Ooh, he was, when I tell you he was getting on my absolute nerves. Then she asked him about the seating arrangement. He done changed the whole seating arrangement. Now, again, y'all know I hate when these shows make me side with people that I don't really rock with like that. But in this situation, Kenya was right. One, seating arrangements are always tricky when you have certain things going on. We know weddings, seating arrangements are always tricky. You have to know the backstory. You have to know why Aunt Vivian don't like Uncle Leroy, and the fact that they ain't spoken 20 years, you might not want to put them at the same table. You have to know that Ray Pookie and them, just got out of jail, and you might not want to put them next to the, the gift table. You see what I'm saying? There's certain backstories that you need to know when you are doing a seating arrangement. Adding in the extra element of the TV show is filming it. You want to put all the girls, all the women together that are a part of the show. I know that was part of it as well. Well, he didn't do that. He just decided he was going to put everybody with everybody. And he was like, what's the big deal? If you're sitting at a table with somebody you don't know, get to know them. Introduce yourself and get to know them. Okay, no, that's not what we're doing here. That's just not what we're doing. So, and of course, Kenya was upset about that. And she was like, he should have left the charity situation up to me. The seating arrangement situation up to me. And he should have. Then she says, well, have you called Mike to follow up with Mike? Now, they asked Mike Hill to host, to be the MC or whatever. And he was like, no, I asked him to do it. He said yes. I don't see what the issue is. She was like, well, you might have wanted to follow up with him just to kind of talk to him. He was like, well, no, I sent him a copy of the program. He's going to get there at 5 o'clock so we can, go over any last minute things we might need to go over at 5 o'clock. And Kenya was just like, All right then, like whatever. So, and I refuse to believe, this is a businessman. I refuse to believe that he doesn't understand that there's certain protocols and it's just the way you deal with people. I mean, Mike Hill is a personality. He is a celebrity in his own right. He probably gets paid a lot of money to do these types of things, and he's doing it for you for free. There's a certain level of respect that I think you should have extended to that man. Then Cynthia and Mike get there early, and they're talking to the other guys that are part of this charity. Now, this charity is a mentoring type program. It's like the boys lock in, lock up, lock out, some shit. Locker room. But it's a mentoring program for young boys of color in the Atlanta area. Okay? That's important. We'll come back to that. Mark comes in the room and he don't even talk to Mike. He goes all around the room. He talks to the people setting up the tables and chairs and all of that. He talks to all of them before he greets the person that's hosting his event for free for him. Yo, what's wrong with this dude? And of course, you know, Cynthia, let me tell you one thing about Cynthia now. Cynthia, she don't play when it comes to her man. So then Eva and her husband get there. And you know, Eva's husband is a lawyer in the community. And he also ran for mayor. Now, he wasn't successful. But because he ran for mayor, yes, his name is out there and people know who he is. So then Mike is going to say to him, I've been trying to get in touch with you. You never get back to me. And, Eva's husband was like, oh, my bad. Like, I would never purposely ignore you. I'm sorry, brother. Like, what's up? I mean, well, I was trying to see if you would be available to, maybe say a few words. So he did agree to speak. And, of course, Eva, being protective of her man, was like, I'm just saying, a little heads up. Now, he did say he tried to reach out to him, so I'm going to give him the benefit of that. I'm going to give him a pass on that one because he said he had been reaching out. Then Kenya calls. She's outside because, of course, she wasn't finished. She wasn't ready to go when he was ready to go. He goes out. She's like, you going to come out here and get me? So he goes out there to walk her in. Now, let me say this. Kenya looked good. Again, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Kenya looked good. The dress was beautiful. Her hair was cute. Makeup. Kenya looked good. That man didn't say, ooh, look at my baby, yeah. Like nothing. No acknowledgement whatsoever. Whatever. Now, Tanya did end up coming, but she said she didn't ask Paul to come because she didn't even want to put Paul in that position. So she just came with Portia and Dennis. They get in there. They get to check in. Tanya's name not on the list. How you invite somebody somewhere and their name not on the damn list? Now, I don't know if her name wasn't on the list, like she wasn't there at all, or her name wasn't on the same list to sit at their table. So Portia was like, well, they have Shamia sitting at my table. Shamia's not coming, so you can just sit in Shamia's seat. It's no big deal. Well, they get to sitting down. Kenya comes over and tells Tanya that she has to move because they gave Shamia and her husband's seat to some other people. How you get their seat away if you didn't know they weren't coming? Because if their name was still on the list, then that means that they RSVP'd yes. Now, maybe Shamia called at the last minute and changed up or whatever. Maybe some back, you know what I'm saying? But it just seemed really weird because I'm like, why Tanya couldn't just sit there? If Shamia not coming and the seat was for Shamia, why the So then, they're going through the program or whatever. And Marlo shows up with her nephews. Now, look, again, I don't do no whole lot of defending Marlo either. But in this one, Marlo comes in with her nephews. Now, y'all know that Marlo right now is temporarily taking care of her nephews because her sister cannot. Much respect to you for that, Marlo. She said, this event, I want my nephews to see successful black men in one room. I want them to see what this is. Also, this program my nephews are the type of people that this program is geared towards. Right now, they don't have their mom. They were living in Florida. They had to be relocated. They had to come up here with me. Everybody is adjusting. It's a lot. And maybe this program could work for them. So she shows up and they have her sitting away from she's one of the people that they moved around and she's not sitting with the rest of the ladies. And it's towards the back of the room. And Marlo was like, oh, so, like, am I even on the list? Like, was I even, like, what's going on? She was like, well, I tell you what, we leaving. And as she's leaving, Candy and Todd are coming in, and Candy's like, where you going? Where you going? And she was like, She said, and let me tell you what I appreciate. Marlo told her nephews, she said, never let somebody make you feel second rate. I'm not sitting in the back of the room. We'll leave. Now, mind you, she had them boys. Them boys was dressed, okay? Marlo looked real cute, too. And them boys had them little suits. I mean, they were looking good. Like, they didn't come in there looking like no bums or nothing. They came in there right. And the other thing I appreciate is the girls came after her. When they saw her leaving, the girls came after her. And they were like, what's going on, Marlo? What's wrong, Marlo? What's wrong? And they were like, no, and they figured it out and they made it work. And they found a seat for Marlo and her two nephews close. It wasn't at the same table, but it was like right next to them. And, Marlo was like, I'm going to sit at the table with people I don't know. Now, on one end, that's a little juvenile. But on the other side, I'm pretty sure, again, going back to the show dynamic, they were all supposed to be sitting together. So then once the program is over, Kenya wants to have an attitude with Marlo, talking about something. How she going to have an attitude? She didn't even pay for her ticket, and the invitation was for her. She going to bring her nephews. These tickets are $250 a piece. Where her $750 at? I mean, she didn't even pay to be here. She's going off on Marlo. Now, from the point of view of Marlo didn't pay for her ticket, and then she bought 2+1s. Well, that would be a +2. But anyway, I could see her being a little, like, irritated or whatever, but I don't think Marlo didn't make a scene. Unless they edited all that out. Marlo did not make a scene. Marlo just quietly left. She was looking for her seat. And she came over to Kenya and said, where do they have us sitting? Kenya told you where your seat was. Told Marlo where her seat was. Marlo went to the back and then she just decided to leave. She didn't make a scene. So why you got such an attitude about it? Oh, because you really mad at that no good husband of yours. That's what you're really mad about. You mad at your husband. The leaks showed up with Greg, and Nene said that, she walked out of a meeting to be at this event because she's trying to be a better person and she's trying to be a team player and all of that. So then Marlo went up to, after the event was over or during intermission or whatever, Marlo was talking to Mark, and Marlo brought up the seat situation, and Mark was like, well, I'm glad you brought your nephews. I'm glad to see them here. I'm sorry about the situation with the seats, whatever. And of course, he ended up throwing Kenya under the bus again because Kenya was pissed off and was like, why would she, she got an attitude, and why would she have an attitude about her seat? Then she brought 2 extra people and she not paying for any of these seats. And Mark was like, well, man, nobody tripping. Like, her nephews are the type of, that's who, those are, we want, it's great to see them here. So, of course, she was like, for once, he could just back me up for once. I mean, if he could just back me up for once. Honey. And then when he got up there to say his thank yous, he ain't thank Cynthia. He ain't mentioned Cynthia's name about nothing, honey. Nothing. Kenya. He didn't mention his wife about nothing. So then they got Mark on the mic, and somebody was asking him, so are you enjoying the ride of being married or something like that? And he was like, no, everybody knows I'm not enjoying it. Everybody knows not. And I was like, and I didn't know if he meant like the whole reality show part of it or just the marriage itself. But either way, it's like, because again, you married a reality star. It'd be different if Kenya went on the show after y'all met. You knew she was on the show before y'all met. So if you weren't ready for all of that, then again, maybe y'all shouldn't have got married after 4 months, but whatever. So then Kenya, I don't remember. But then they have Mark on. It's no camera. They just have the audio of him telling production to shut down and basically threatening production that if they don't stop filming in 5 minutes, it's going to be a whole nother problem. And how, it's ridiculous. He's sick of it. He's tired of the situation. And they, that they need to cut their cameras. He's done, blah, blah, blah. And he said, this is the last scene that you're going to see me in. This is the last time I'm ever going to film. And then they put at the end, 2 days after the charity event is when both of them separately announced that they're going to be divorcing. So, baby, that's what we left it. And that's right before they getting ready to go to Greece. So, I can only imagine how that's about to go down. Y'all let me know what y'all think, honey. Drop it in them comments. Peace.